This time on Low Boost, we're going to show you what it's like to experience a track day with Highline Motorsports. A lot of places that do track days require you to fill out a tech inspection sheet prior to showing up. You can take the sheet to a lot of shops. They'll be able to do the inspection for you. Some places will charge you a little bit of money because it takes a little bit of time to complete the sheet. But one of the things you're going to want to do is you want to make sure you have clean brake fluid. In my car and in a lot of other people's cars, they always use Motul RBF600 or 660 if you can find it. I'll put a link to this in the description below. You can get this on Amazon. Probably you can get it. I would order more than one. I would order like a case of 8 maybe. You'll have it for a couple different times. I usually rotate in the Corvette every other track day of flushing my brake fluid, and on the opposite track day changing my oil. That way I'm always doing one or the other, but not both. I find that just is the easiest way to do it. But some people might go longer than 2 track days on brake fluid. I don't like to do that. I will do it every other track day. Some of the things that they're going to look at in a tech inspection is to make sure you have enough tread wear on your tires. They're also going to make sure you have at least 50% pad life left on your brakes. Amongst some other things, make sure you're not leaking any fluids, make sure everything works right in the car, so that it's safe to be out on a track. Because especially if it's your first time, you might not know that you need to do some work on the car to get it prepared. So they're going to just make sure the car is safe for you to go out on the track. If you do live in the Capital District, you can definitely take your car to Highline Motorsports to get your tech inspection done. So one of the great things about doing a track day with Highline is the fact that not only is it they're the ones running the track day, but they could also be the ones that check out your car. And no, to do tech inspections, it doesn't just have to be a BMW. They only do BMWs for service, but they'll do a tech inspection on just about anything. Once your car is ready to go, you got to pack up the essentials. I made an entirely separate video on just the top 5 things you must have to bring to a track day. A helmet obviously is one of them. But make sure you watch the video. I'll put a link to it in the description below. It's very descriptive. It really goes over all the good stuff you're going to need to bring with you to your track day.
Now, every track day varies, but I'm going to go over what it's like to do a track day with Highline. So you want to get there between 7 and 7:30 and find a spot in the pits where you can set up your car and your trailer and everything else. Lay all your stuff out, check your tire pressures, torque your lug nuts down, make sure everything is all ready to go because they're going to come around and look at your car and double check everything. Next, you're going to want to head over to the registration booth and check in and get the wristband and have them put you in whatever class they think you're going to be in. Especially for the novice group, if this is your first time, a lot of times they will actually have you go out and do a parade lap around the course and have somebody drive really slow so you can kind of see their lines and kind of give you an idea of the best way to attack the track. It is a really good thing to do. I know some people do skip it after you've been there for a little while, but if it's your first time, I highly suggest going out there and getting a feel for the track and your car as well. If you are in the beginner or what they call novice or intermediate group, your first session, you are not going to be passing. It'll be a standing yellow flag for the whole session, which is 20 minutes long. You're still going to be able to build up speed and get a good pace, but you could get stuck behind somebody that's a little bit slower than you. So your best thing to do in that situation is just to pull off into the pits and have them send you back out if you want to get back on track by yourself with less traffic. As much as you thought you bombed your car around on back roads, even the warm-up session, a first session like that on a real track, you're going to realize you weren't even coming close to pushing your car anywhere near the limit that you actually thought it had prior to being on a track. After that first session, head back into the pits, park your car, don't put the e-brake on because you will fuse that e-brake right to your rotor. Open the hood, let the car cool off, check your tire pressures because they probably have climbed considerably and you're going to want to air them out before the next session. And get ready because in 40 minutes, the next session is full on track hot and you will be able to pass people in this next session. Every track has different passing rules. At New York Safety Track, you can only pass on the left, and you have to be pointed by the person in front of you, meaning the person in front of you has to stick their left hand out the window and point to let you by. Usually, beginner groups are only allowed to pass on the front straightaway and the back straightaway after Wheelie Hill. Other groups, they do passing wherever they feel that it would be safest, and it really kind of depends. There is a common courtesy to this. There may be a car that might be extremely fast on the straightaway, but just isn't keeping up with traffic on the backstretch. It's not nice to just blow everybody away on the straight and then have them following you for the entire remainder of the course afterwards. My rule is, if they're catching up to you from behind and you have no cars in front of you, they're faster. Just let them by. Swallow your ego. It's a great opportunity to actually watch them in front of you and actually learn their lines and actually see where you could be improving yourself. I love to do that. Here's an example of a proper point by. He moves over to the right after turn 18, puts his left hand out the window and points you by so you can go ahead and pass him. At this point, you're really in the thick of it, really starting to learn the limits of your car and really start to push the boundaries, later braking, later turn in, late apex. You really start to get a feel for what your car can really do, and that might be the most fun part of the day. But for me, I like watching new people come to the track, tell me their time at the beginning of the day was like 2 minutes and 10 seconds, and then by the end of the day, they're like, wow, I improved almost 15 seconds on my lap time. It's a 1:55. I also suggest you taking your car to the track when it is completely stock. Don't wait to modify it. When you get out there, you're really going to see what the limitations of the car are and where you can improve them going forward. There is no modification that is greater than seat time and learning how to drive your car the proper way. There is nothing that will make your car faster. That's also the beauty of it. It's not like drag racing or roll racing where you could just buy or build a car that will just be extremely fast. Not only do you need a fast car, 90% of your car's performance is based on your ability to drive. And the more time you have in the car, the better, because it is the most fun you can have in your car with the clothes on. I love the environment at Highline Track Days. Everybody is super nice. The team of guys at Highline are super helpful. And because they don't invite 1,000 people to their events, you get a ton of track time with not a lot of traffic. I mean, you could hot lap the afternoon hard and you might not run into anybody at all. And with Highline, this is a full 8-hour track day. By the end of the day, you are going to be beat. Some people pack up at lunch because they're tired. Overall, it was a successful day here at Highline Motorsports Track Day, as it always is. Dave, tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that what we had today.
Lots of driving, man. Really good weather. I know that we worried about the rain a little bit, but like always, you can't predict it here. So
we didn't have first time ever no rain.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. But yeah, no, we had really good weather and a great turnout. Everybody stayed safe relatively. And, what's really cool about these events, we get a ton of driving time in. And I just think that everybody really appreciates that. We got pizza for everybody. And this is kind of like one of those events that not everybody knows about. And so if you know, and you come. And so we're going to do another one in the fall time and super pumped to have everybody out again. We're going to be doing a special once we announce the date for the fall, 24-hour special. Get in for very deep discount.
There is not a good of a deal anywhere for track time as doing them with Highline Motorsports. So guys, make sure you stay tuned. Follow Highline Motorsports on Facebook and on Instagram. So that about wraps up the video. I hope I was able to cover everything that you could experience at a track day and one with Highline Motorsports specifically to entice you guys to come out and get on track yourself. I can't stress enough, it is the most fun you'll have in your car with your clothes on. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.